So, can you attain inner peace in a very few simple steps? Hey guys, it's John in the truck driving out to drop a package off. And I thought I'd take this time to hop on and make this quick video. Can you achieve inner peace in just a few simple steps? The interesting thing about inner peace is people are searching for inner peace. They're looking for inner peace. They're trying to create inner peace within themselves. But before you can create inner peace, you have to discover why it is you have no inner peace. Because the fact that you are not in peace means that there's got to be a root cause as to why you don't have that peace. Can there be a few simple steps to actually achieve that inner peace? I have to say, yes, there is. There are just a few simple steps. But the first step will always be assessment. It's a matter of figuring out what it is that is making you not peaceful. Well, I will tell you, peace and peacefulness and inner peace is a product of love. It's a product of the direct connection to sources. It's the product of being in a space of understanding that, you have nothing to fear. Which means if you are not at peace, then it's some level of your soul, you are wrestling with fears. You're wrestling with the anxieties of fears, the stresses of fears. And when you think of that first assessment as discovering the fears within, then you have to come to the idea of what are these fears? What are these fears? What am I afraid of? Now, inner peace is always a struggle because the fears that we wrestle with are usually subconscious. They're coming from our subconscious mind. I mean, we wouldn't consciously choose to be fearful. We wouldn't consciously choose to have a life of turmoil. But that inner peace only comes when we release the stresses and the anxieties and the stimulus of the world. Our primal animal mind is always assessing everything as if it's a threat or not, which means our primal animal mind is constantly looking for something that might be fearful. And the Buddha says the secret to enlightenment is the eradication of fear. Well, that eradication of fear is kind of a tricky little monkey because the fears themselves are not rooted in your present moment. And you only live in your present moment. Fear is always rooted in past experience or the expectation that something negative might happen in the future. When it comes down to the present moment, fear in the present moment is simply just an emotional reaction. It's the primal response. And that primal response is all that you have the ability to manage in your present moment. So first of all, assessing what the fears are and finding out what the fears are and discovering that the fears are based in some past experience or an expectation of something negative might happen in the future. And most times we have that expectation because of our past experience. We think something negative will happen in the future because something negative has happened in the past. So finding out what that fear is first is number one. Number two, as I was saying, you come to that space of realizing that in the present moment, the only moment that you're conscious, the only moment you have thought, word, need, in that present moment, you have this one ability when it comes to fear, and that is managing the emotional reaction, managing the reaction, the physical response. And when we have fears of any kind, we draw air into our lungs and we hold it. It's the primal response. There's a simple reason why we do this. The simple reason is because our primal nature says to survive, we have to be able to run away. And so we draw air into our lungs and we hold it to have a reserve to be able to run away. And so first assess, figure out what the fears are. And then two, work with the process of managing or releasing the emotional response that's in your present moment. So assess and then release. And you release that. How do you release it? We draw air into our lungs, so we let the air out. We exhale. We come back to that present moment place at the bottom of your breath. Now, when I say exhale, a lot of times I'll ask people to exhale and they'll go, right? And I'm not talking about just simply letting air out. I'm talking about letting everything out, letting the exhale with the relaxing of the muscles, let it all come down to that present moment, relaxed state where you know you're safe and you're telling your physical body that you are safe. And when you're telling your physical body that you are safe, you're literally in a state of fearlessness because now your body is safe, so it has nothing to fear. You've literally shut off the primal response by that action of simply letting the air out and relaxing the muscles. You're told your body to let it go. And so you've assessed it, you've figured out what your fears are. Now you're releasing the primal reaction to that stimulus that is there. And now the way to find true inner peace, the third step that really gets you there is to make a declaration, prove to your world that not only are you safe, but you get to dictate what the world is. I am living a joyful, peaceful life. I'm living a life of inner peace and stillness. I am living a life of contentment, surrounded by people I love who love me in return. It's really a matter of assess, address, declare what it is you are creating. You are creating that inner peace, believing that inner peace is within you. So it's assess, address, declare, and believe. Assess, address, and declare, and believe. And you put that belief into action in the present moment, because inner peace is always a present moment attribute. You can only find inner peace in the now. Why is that the case? Because the now is the only moment that you are ever truly conscious. It's the only moment that you ever truly have thought, word, and deed. It's the only moment where you can actually create anything in your life. And inner peace is a simple creation as well. It's a release of all of the stresses and the anxieties that fear has caused, but it's also a declaration and a creation of this inner state within you. You know, shutting off the stimulus of the fears and the anxieties of the world comes to you from the perspective of you are in control. You are the creator of your experience. And when you create that outcome of inner peace, it really comes down to those simple steps. It comes down to those processes of simple creation. Assess your fears and your anxieties. What are they that are not making you have inner peace? Address those concerns by simply releasing the emotional response to those fearful ideas and concepts, and then declare by simply exhaling and declaring that that is the case, coming back to the space that I am living an inner peace and contentment. And then then simply believe it. And anytime you feel a stress or anxiety come in that yucks your yum, then take that moment to simply do it again. What is this fear? I'm letting it go. I am living a life of inner peace and contentment. It sounds ridiculously simple, but it works because you in every moment of your life are a creator, and you create through your inner belief. Now, sometimes those beliefs are subconscious, which is where your fearful ideas come from. And sometimes those beliefs are conscious, but it's a matter of making inner peace be conscious that lets you go to the space of being and living true inner peace. So can inner peace be found in simple steps? I absolutely believe they can. And I think it really comes down to you choosing to believe it can be simple. So that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See you. Bye.